Tutorial 2 Fluent Validation in Login Page. Let's begin. In the last tutorial, what I showed you is that where this login page using username and password, if that is correct, then we will be going to the password page. But what if the username and the password is incorrect? So again, the username and password is empty. So again, they will be shown the same message, but they will not have any idea that these two fields are empty. Means there should be some validation, and for validation we can use two types of validations, client side and server side. For this one I have chosen to do using the server side validation, and also using the using the Fluent validation. So how we can achieve this, I have outlined this here in a notepad. So here we'll be adding a reference to the Fluent validation first, and then we'll add a login module validation class inside the validation folder. This validation class is responsible to validate the login model, and for that we will be creating some rules, and fourth we will check for the validation fields and add to the model state, and lastly we will be adding some styles in the view to show that the highlighted fields are invalid and those need to be put. So let's begin. First we will be adding a reference to the Fluent validation. So here in the reference, right click and manage packages, and here you can type Fluent validation, and as soon as you type here Fluent validation, you will see here Fluent validation. Let's install it, and it is installed in the project. So I can see in the reference after entity framework.sql server, I can see Fluent validation. So now inside the login model, now I can use this code that tells, I'm just copy pasting here because I've already typed this one. So here it says that I can use the Fluent validation, and then it will validate the login model, and this login model validation is the class that I will be adding later. So let's first add a folder called validation. I'm just trying to make all of these related things separate. Validation, the name of the folder, and I'm going to add a class called login model validation. So here, as you can see, this class now will have the rules for validating login model. So here this is my model, and then this will, so the login model validation, for this we need to use the namespace in the portal validation, and here inside the login portal.validation I have this class called login model validation. So here inside here you will write some rules to validate this model. I mean only these two properties that we are currently checking. So let's write some rules here. So I've already written some code, let's just copy paste it. So here I wrote some rule here. So for this I have to use some namespace imply portal.model, and for this abstract validate I have to use a Fluent validation. So here you can see I am using this login model for validation, and here I have a rule. So inside this login model validation I have these two rows. So one is for the username and the one is for password, which says that if the username should not be empty, and if it is empty it should have this message, or it will show some message. If the password is empty, then show some message. So let's add some code in the controller. Obviously we need to change it. In the beginning it was only looking into the model. If it was empty also, then it would show the same message that login field equal to true, and it will return the same view. But now we have some modified code here which I'm going to copy paste and explain. So as you can see here, so what I'm going to explain here is, as you can see now I have this login model validation included here, and it will check. So if I go here and do F12, then what it is going to do is it is going to go for this class and look for these rows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a breakpoint here, which is already here, and what I've done here is that if there is some errors, then the errors will be coming here, and if the model is not if the model state is not valid, then it will go inside this statement, and these errors have all the descriptions related to the error, what model, what property, and what message, and then I'll be checking each and every model and then add to the add model error. So once it is failed, then we will show the same message, but we will check what we see in the view. So let's begin. So let's put nothing here, and then let's just log it, and then once I do the debugging, then here it is bringing some error. So as you can see here, I can see two errors: username required and password required, which is from this validation username required and password required. So as you can see here, these are the properties of those errors. So if I look into each of the items, then I can see all of those properties here, like the property name, error message, from where and from where it is coming, what is the error message, and things like that. And I'm adding all of those into the model state. And once I have all of them, and then I'm going to return, and as you can see here, the message is same here, but when I right click on the input, so I can see here in the input class there is an input validation error. So this is from the Fluent validation, so we can use this class to highlight the text box. So I'm going to just copy paste that and write some style in the view page. So I can now stop this one, and in the login.css I'm going to add some CSS here. So you need to write some CSS code here using that class, which I have already written. I'm just going to copy and paste it, Ctrl C and Ctrl V here. So what it is going to do is, for those type of invalidation error from the Fluent, I will be adding a border of 1 pixel solid red. So now let's see what we can see the difference. So let's put nothing and then do the login, and once it goes here, it adds all the errors to the model state and returns. I have only 2 for now, and then it is returning, and now I can see these 2 fields are highlighted from the Fluent validation. So this is how you can use the Fluent validation to use the server-side validation. If you want to do it from the client side, that's fine, but I would like to try. I want you to try this once. Thanks for watching, and please do subscribe for my channel, and comment like, dislike for my video, because that will help me put some videos in the future. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.